Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your mid to late August reading and predictions. I owe each and every one of you a heartfelt apology. Unfortunately, I was unable to record videos for approximately the last month. Some stuff came up in my life, and I do apologize for not being able to provide you with the content and the readings that you're used to receiving. So I'm very sorry about that. Let's jump into your reading. Let's go over here. For those of you who are new here, I'm going to pull cards for 6 different areas of your life. I do pull the cards on camera, and then I'm going to read them. I do leave all the cards sitting face down until I'm actually ready to read them. That way I don't have the desire to jump around. That can get really confusing. I do still jump around once I get them all turned over, though. All right. What do we got here, Scorpio? All right, we do have one more card. I'm going to grab that one out of there. All right. What are you guys focusing on? Let's have a look at what you're focusing on. What are the Scorpios focusing on for mid to late August? Interesting, almost at the end of the deck. Have no jumped cards. All right, let's go through it one more time. What are the Scorpios focusing on? That one. Ah, there we go. Okay, so we do have 2 cards that have come out for you. Okay. We're going to take a quick peek into your difficult influences and challenges. All right. Messages you need to hear at this time. Oh, that was actually a pretty big group. There's 4 messages in them, I believe. Let me just check how many cards actually jumped out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Let's dive into unexpected. What is unexpected for Scorpio mid to late August? Having a little trouble holding all the cards the way that they're going together. So okay. And the final cards that we're going to pull is your general overall outcome. Where are we going for those? Ah, back to the fairies. Oh, geez. Was interesting. So we have 2 individual cards that jumped out for you. And we've got an entire pile that's jumped out. So what I'm going to do, I do feel like there's one more card for you in this pile. I'm going to mix it up several times and just see if anything comes out. If any of the cards are a little hesitant. Let's do it this way. Nope. None of the other cards want to come out and talk. Okay. Is what it is. Let's get started. All right, we have the Three of Winter, the Prince of Summer, and the Five of Autumn. The Three of Winter corresponds to the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of an ending of some type, and an ending that is close to our hearts. If we look at the traditional tarot and the pictorial representation of the Three of Swords in that tarot, it is a picture of a heart with three swords stabbed through it. You may be familiar with that imagery. And it's a card of an ending of some kind, an ending that is close to your heart, Scorpio, and that you may be needing to reach out to someone else for help and comfort and support at this time. Okay. You have the Prince of Summer here, and the Prince of Summer is a card, corresponds to the Knight of Cups. And this is a card of being a little bit spontaneous and potentially jumping into a relationship without thinking it through all the way. And you have the Five of Autumn here, and it corresponds to the Five of Pentacles. And this is a card of kind of being put in a quandary, being put in a position where you might need to ask for help of some kind. And this card is a card of right now is not a great time to be making important decisions, particularly if it comes to your money or career. However, given that the other two cards that came out right next to this five, this one pertains to something that's close to your heart, that's ending, and you might need to ask for support and help. This is about making a rash decision about a relationship. And this is about right now, it's not a great time to be making important decisions. Scorpio, what these cards are telling me at this time is that you're being presented with a number of different options here. You have an ending, which opens the door to something new coming in. Yet this card's saying now's not a good time for rash decisions. And yet you have the Prince of Summer coming in saying, hey, make a rash decision. Eek. That's all I can say when it comes to the energy coming through in these cards. So yeah, that's the energies sitting here in the middle of August as I'm doing this reading for you. So let's dive into what you are focusing on and what's going to be coming up for you moving in through later into the month of August. Okay, you have the Ten of Wands and you have the King of Wands coming in for what you're focusing on. Now, the Ten of Wands is a card of feeling like you're overwhelmed, feeling like you're overworked, feeling like you've got so many burdens. The imagery on the traditional tarot for the Ten of Wands is that of somebody who's trying to carry way too much and he's just not able to lift it and carry it. So in this particular deck, the Ten of Wands is represented by suppression. Okay. And what this card is saying is that you just got too much on your mind, too much going on. You've piled too much onto your plate. Your eyes were bigger than your stomach. And you've got yourself all tied up in knots here. And you're unable to handle what you've dished out for yourself. The other card that you have here in what you're focusing on is the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands is a very generous soul who wants to, queen, is a very generous soul who wants to share. And she shares with abandon. And it doesn't matter what she has in her coffers or in her stores. She still wants to just continue to share. The other thing about the Queen of Wands is that she is extremely supportive and very feminine, right? So it's not just about sharing what she has in her coffers by the way of food or money or supplies, but it is also that she shares her ear, lending someone an ear for the purposes of being able to um, help them through something. And so she can at times represent reaching out and asking for help as well, Scorpio, which, as you've already seen here, you have two cards here that are already saying reach out and ask for some help. And now again, you've got this card coming in saying that you're going to need to ask for some help and assistance. And then you've got the Queen coming in saying, hey, I'm here, I can help you. Okay, good things. In your challenge, you have Voyage of the Heart. I was afraid that something like this was going to come up for you. Okay. This appears to be turning into a love and relationship reading, if I'm being perfectly honest. This Three of Swords is indicating that there is an ending of a relationship of some kind, given that, it would normally be a heart with three swords through it. And again, the Five is saying, don't make rash decisions. Don't jump into a new relationship right away. Don't jump into a rebound. If you do that and you jump right into a rebound, you're going to be fully in this Ten of Wands. You're going to be so overwhelmed. But instead, it's okay to not jump into things. Why? Because you're not quite ready yet. In your challenges, in your difficult influences, you have this Voyage of the Heart card. And the Voyage of the Heart card is love and allow yourself to be loved. But when it comes up in the difficult influences, Scorpio, it's indicating that your heart isn't as open as it could be or it should be, and that you're not ready to allow love to flow through your life again. Not surprising. For me personally, if I've just come through a situation where I've had my heart stabbed with three swords, i.e. the Three of Winter here, I'm probably not going to be in a position where I'm prepared to open my heart again. And it's indicating that that's where you're at right now, Scorpio. So is there anything wrong with being single? Absolutely not. Is there anything wrong with the division? For example, if you're not talking about the division of a romantic relationship, it may be the ending or termination of a business relationship. Is there anything wrong with forging ahead on your own? Absolutely not. All of these things are okay. But remember to ask for help and assistance, right? You've got these cards here, both indicating ask for help and assistance. You've got three of them now. Messages you need to hear. Yes. Okay. Be yourself, right? If you're putting something out into the world that is not who you truly are, people will see through that. And the very next card is let go of your ego. Be yourself, let go of your ego, right? Our ego tells us that we need to put on more makeup before we go out the door. It tells us that we need to dress a certain way, tells us we need to act a certain way in order to try and fit in so that everybody's going to like us. The reality is you're being told, let go of that. Be yourself, be natural. And in reality, if your intention is to attract a new partner, be that a business partner or be that a romantic partner, as these cards are indicating, because we're showing that there's going to be a termination of a relationship here. There is a possibility for a new relationship to be coming in, albeit maybe a rash decision to enter into one where your heart's not quite ready for it. But either way, if you're going to be diving into something new, make sure that you are the one diving into it, your real true self and not your ego. Okay, messages you need to hear right now. Feel joy in all that you do. Okay, when we experience the termination of a relationship, be it romantic or business, there is a film or a veil of sadness that can come over us because it makes us feel like we are not good enough, like we did something wrong. And, that's usually not the case, right? So this is your reminder, feel joy in all that you do. And one more. Remember what I said about this Prince of Summer? The Prince of Summer has a tendency to act rash and doesn't think things all the way through and kind of dives into things suddenly and doesn't, practice moderation. Yeah, you got the card that says practice moderation. And you also had this Five of Autumn here saying, right now is not a great time for you to be making radical, rash decisions. And now you've got that confirmed in your messages you need to hear right now. Practice moderation. So Scorpio, the cards are very quickly coming together to give you a very strong message here that diving right into something new, yeah, you might want to practice moderation. Oh my goodness. And you have two major arcana cards that have come in. You've got the Temperance card and you've got the Death card. The Temperance card is the card of practice moderation. And this came up just after I finished saying, practice moderation, don't be diving into something rashly, all the rest of this stuff. And then you end up with the Temperance card. Scorpio, everything about this is saying your heart's just not quite ready for you wanting to dive right in. All right. And you also have the Death card here in your unexpected. And the Death card is a card of experiencing a metamorphosis and a change within yourself. So perhaps as this Three of Swords comes to fruition and there's the ending of a relationship, is going to allow you the time and the opportunity to metamorphosize yourself and change yourself. Leave the past in the past. The past is where it belongs. Back here, you can't go and get it back. And dive into changing yourself. Work on yourself. Oh, were you given any advice about working on yourself after this little metamorphosis that this card is indicating? Oh yeah, be yourself and let go of your ego. All right, Scorpio, let's look at your last couple of cards here. These two cards came up in this order, the Five of Winter and the Four of Winter. The Five of Winter is the card of walk away. Walk away. There is something that is dishonest in your midst. There is something that you thought you wanted that you really don't want. This is the card of just walk away. It's not working for you. Death card, walk away, change yourself, let go of your ego, become who you truly are meant to be. Balance, temperance in your life. And the Four of Winter, which is your final card here, Scorpio, is the card of, in the end, by the end of August, set aside your concerns with all of this drama, because this is showing that there is some drama coming up for you. Make your final decision later. Oh, wait, were you given some advice to make decisions later? This is a card of make a decision later. This card shows a fairy who has climbed into a little hole in a tree, and she's just relaxing and chilling, meditating and taking time for herself. Thank you so much for being here, Scorpio. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you will allow me the honor of doing your next reading come the beginning of September. Thank you so much.